Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our awards live stream. This definitely feels a lot different than the usual Saturday of picnic day, but I'm glad that we get to end the year this way and recognize all of your hard work. And what a year it has been. It may kind of feel like a fizzle of an ending instead of the usual flurry of field trips and field events, graduation, and picnic day. But I do want to just take a minute here at the beginning to reflect on our year together, even if the first 3 quarters of the year feels a little bit overshadowed by the last couple months. Today is a day to celebrate the growth of each of you, both academically and spiritually, as we think about the year we shared together. We began the school year way back in August on back-to-school night, eating ice cream together. For many of you students, it meant a new teacher, and for most of the staff, it meant new responsibilities, and it was really just a time of nervousness, but also excitement for almost all of us. And of course, the other new thing we started right away was the new pickup system, which did lead to some confusion, and we had the cones, but it was a lot of fun. And by the end of the year, I have to say, I really enjoyed closing each day together as a school. It was just a really good way to end the day. And throughout the fall, we worked hard and got into our lessons and things, and also started thinking about our theme this year of serving with love. And one of the things that we did was many of the high schoolers and even some junior hires cleaned after the Apple Festival. And you guys did a great job. The coordinators love us there. So I'm sure they'd be happy to have us back. One of my favorite days every year at UCS is the day before Thanksgiving break, where we have the lunch exchange and we get to see all the boxes and everybody's excited. And this year we saw mouse traps and racetracks and vending machines and lockers and all sorts of sweet treats and nature scenes. And students, you just let your creativity flow that day, and it was a sight to behold. And for the high schoolers, several of you remember that time well, after spending numerous hours in the woods prepping for the first ever turkey in the hole. And I know it was a lot of work to chop down all those trees, and they dug a giant trench during a blizzard, and it was fun, though, to watch it all come together for a delicious Thanksgiving feast. And of course, to round out the calendar year, we had the Christmas program. And we spent a lot of time practicing, and of course that night we had those butterflies and energy levels are high, and will it all work out? And like I said, we had practiced a long time, especially the Boomwhacker choir, and I think by the end of the week I had that song memorized. But it was worth it. You all did a great job, and it was just a great time, and of course we had the hot chocolate and cookies, and just kind of ended that year well. Then we had our Christmas break, of course, and got into winter, and for a long time we just kept having 2-hour delays, and of course had no snow days until Missions Week, right? And amidst the chaos of that week, though, I always enjoy that week of delicious lunches and seeing all of your cultural costumes, and also hearing about the work that God is doing in Nicaragua. That was a highlight. Soon after, March 13th, that was our last day of school. And coronavirus brought a lot of changes to school as we know it. No longer were we together every day learning and laughing together, and it was tough. Students, you bring that spark of joy into the classroom, and it simply isn't as fun to teach without you guys. And I do want to thank Ryan Miller and Ruben Hostetler for all their work putting together the school website so quickly, for providing technical support. I want to thank the staff who did a great job of adapting before and throughout the process of remote learning. We learned 2 different video uploading sites in 2 days' time after the first one froze our account. We learned about uploading and thumbnails and new apps like Zoom. And we also learned which places in town have the fastest internet. Shout out to Milford Elementary and the Wakarusa BP station. It was fun to see different teachers connecting with students in different ways, from postcards to live streams, story times, milkshake deliveries. But I also want to thank you as parents that are watching today. You are our heroes on the front lines. Absolutely. I just want to recognize the sacrifices that you have made these last 2 months in becoming a much more active daily part of your students' education. I know that you put your heart and soul into it, and there were times that it was not easy. And as staff, we are deeply thankful for your efforts. We could not have done this last quarter of school without you as parents helping us. And last but not least, students, I want to recognize you. I'm so proud of you and the work that you've done and the things that you've learned during this time of quarantine. I also want to acknowledge the things that we've missed out on. The Woodlawn game that you were practicing so hard for. No doubt, ladies, this was your year. The end of the year field trips are always a highlight of the year. Field events, just getting together with parents and friends, family, supporting us, spending the days together outside. It's always a special time. And I do want to recognize as well the 8th graders and the seniors. Well, we will have a graduation in a few weeks, but you didn't get to finish the year in the typical way with those usual last moments of celebration, and I'm so sorry. I hope that as you look back, you will feel a sense of satisfaction for the work that you accomplished, and I know too for you seniors, you may not have minded the stay-at-home orders all that much. This is a moment in history that you will always remember, students, that you are a part of. Who would have thought that phrases like social distancing, PPE, and toilet paper shortages would become part of our daily conversations? I hope we can reflect on this time with good memories, of spending time with family, taking a break from so many activities, and just slowing down. One highlight for me that coronavirus made possible was our last day parade and getting to celebrate just a little bit with each one of you. And I know the fall holds a lot of unknowns, but I'm very much looking forward with hope to being back in the classroom with you. And until then, I hope this summer can be a good break and a time of refreshment for each one of us. Let's have a word of prayer. Lord, we are just thankful for how you blessed us this school year. We are thankful for your care for us, and we are thankful that you know what the future holds. And so I pray, Lord, that you would just help us to trust you with that. I pray that this summer would be just a time of relaxation, refreshment, and growing closer to each other, and just looking forward to this next school year. We pray, Lord, that you would make it possible for us to be together in person very soon. And again, we are just thankful for how you have blessed this year. And I just pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Today, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the teachers, and it's going to feel like a typical awards ceremony. And so Miss Megan's going to go first, and we're just going to go right through the line of teachers. And so I'll turn the time over to Miss Megan.
I enjoyed getting to know each of you in kindergarten this year. One thing for certain, our room never lacked in enthusiasm for learning and lively interaction. I'm proud of each one of you for all the hard work you put into learning to read, memorize, and learning your numbers. And I wish a wonderful summer to each of you and a great year next year as you start first grade in the fall. Each of you had something valuable to add to our classroom, and we have some awards to recognize a few of these strengths. The Penmanship Award goes to Justice Hostetler. Perfect Attendance for 1 year, Miles Yetzi. The Scholastic Achievement, which is Honor Roll 4 out of 5 times, goes to Dante Miller and Alexa Saufer. Outstanding Scholastic Achievement, which is Distinguished Honor Roll 3 out of 4 times, Kiara Bontrager, Heidi Chupp, Justice Hostetler, and Brooke Neuswanger. Gold Cups go to Heidi Chupp for Academic Award and Kiara Bontrager for Responsibility Reward.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's a little bit different. I can't see your faces, but that's okay. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of my year and how it went. This school year was a little bit different for me for several reasons. The first one was that I switched from room 2 to room 1, and I taught room 2 for 2 years and really enjoyed it, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that I actually really enjoyed teaching first and second grade. So this year I had 16 students, which was my largest class so far. One thing that I really noticed and appreciated about this class this year is just their enthusiasm and how they love to get involved in any kind of activity or project, and they would often ask a lot of good questions, and so I just really appreciated that about them this year. And I wish I could see each of you students right now, but I just want to thank you for all that you added to our classroom and for making this a good school year. So obviously the other big change this year was just the way we ended our school year. Obviously it affected everyone, and the last couple months of school went differently than we would have anticipated. And I know that e-learning was a big challenge for parents and students and teachers alike. It was a learning curve for all of us, but I was just really impressed with the way that everyone came together and did what they could to make the best of the situation. And I just want to thank all of you moms especially for all of the time and effort that you put into teaching your children. So I definitely missed my students. I missed the time that I could have had teaching them, but I think we learned some other lessons through this time as well. So just a little bit, some of my future plans for this summer. I am planning to teach again next year in room 1, so I'm excited about that. And I signed up to go to Faith Builders summer term. So that is a 5-week program from the end of June till the end of July. And at this point, it looks a little bit uncertain for sure if they'll go ahead with that, but I'm really hoping and praying that I will be able to participate in that this summer. So I think we'll go ahead and go to the awards now. So first of all, I have Penmanship Award, and I actually have 2 students for this one. The first one is Alex Gingrich. He did very well in taking his time and making sure his letters were formed correctly. Also, Gina Troyer had excellent penmanship skills, so good job to both of you. Next is a Perfect Attendance Award, and 3 people got that for this year: Gina Troyer, Alex Gingrich, and Leighton Hostetler. Good job. Next is the Scholastic Achievement, which is honor roll 5 out of 6 times, and that goes to Alex Gingrich, Peyton Miller, Drew Newswinger, and Heather Chupp. And next is Outstanding Scholastic Achievement, which is Distinguished Honor Roll 5 out of 6 times. Eden Mast, Gina Troyer, Braden Bontrager, Ashley Burkholder, Truman Smooker, and Kaylee Stauffer. All right, and then I have some Gold Cup awards. So just some outstanding character qualities that I noticed in my students this year. The first one is the Compassion Award. That goes to Rachel Dadson. Rachel was very caring and compassionate. Often when someone would get hurt, she was the first one there, making sure they were okay and doing whatever she could to help. So thank you for that, Rachel. Next is the Enthusiasm Award. This one goes to Drew Newswinger. So I mentioned earlier that my whole class was very enthusiastic and loved to participate in any activity. And Drew just kind of took that to the next level. And he was always right in there, ready to go, and I appreciated that about him. The next one is a Gratefulness Award. This one goes to Braden Bontrager. So Braden would often thank me for anything that I did for him, and he would even thank me when I would come around and hand out his worksheets. So I thought that was fairly exemplary, so good job, Braden. Another one is the Joyfulness Award. This one is for Riley Hostetler. Riley was rarely seen without a smile. She's very friendly and just has a lot of joyfulness and is always happy. And so I thank you for that, Riley, and what you added to our classroom. One more award is the Citizenship and School Spirit Award. That is for Peyton Miller. Peyton was always excited about school. She was eager to learn and always had a good attitude about her work and about school in general. So good job. Thank you all, students. I love you and miss you.
Well, good morning, students. I am so glad to be here. Sometimes I think the teachers are about as excited for summer as you guys are. So I know I am. I've got some projects I want to work on, and I guess my summer plans are hopefully in the fall to go to Faith Builders for a week. So yes, I am coming back for next year to teach Room 2. This was my first year teaching Room 2. I had taught Room 3 before for 2 years. Like Miss Yoder said, I was kind of excited to see all the energy and enthusiasm in the younger grades, and I like also something else I like is knowing what's coming. So I know what they're going to get in 5th and 6th grade, and so I can kind of teach with that in mind. This year I had 10 students, so I had 6 boys and 4 girls, and that creates some interesting dynamics. Definitely some boy focused games, airplane contests, and that kind of thing. And girls got involved too with games and different things. The last Zoom meeting I had actually was all girls, so that was fun. Anyway, great year. I really enjoyed the new grades. I do have several awards here, and if your name's not mentioned, I really did appreciate all the work you did. It was a great year. So my penmanship award goes to Trentlin Newswinger. He was very diligent in his work, trying to make it neat, and took his time, and he would try to get hundreds on his penmanship tests. But I appreciated that he didn't just do neatness in penmanship, but also in his whole work, really. It's very nice to grade. Perfect attendance this year goes to Kate Miller. She's had perfect attendance for 2 years, so good job, Kate. Scholastic Achievement, which is honor roll 5 out of 6 times, 3, goes to Trentlin Newswinger, Chase Yutzi, and Rihanna Burkholder. Outstanding Scholastic Achievement, which is Distinguished Honor Roll 5 out of 6 times. I have 4, Cade Burkholder, Cameron Miller, Kate Miller, and Janae Golding. Good job, guys. I had mentioned I like the energy levels of Room 2 and just a lot of enthusiasm. In 3rd grade language one time, this was funny to me as a teacher, I guess, but we were doing singular words, changing them to plural words, and I had a word on the chalkboard. I had a couple words, and one of them was the word woman, and we were supposed to change it from 1 woman to 2 women, and 3rd grade's getting into this, and they're all excited, and I forget exactly who it was, but I said, okay, we've got 1 woman, 2, and one raised his hand. He said, ladies. It's like, good try. Well, I have a couple words I want to recognize. Janae Golding gets the Dependability Award. She was just on time, and she was ready for class, and she turned her work in on time, and if she did have something she had to work on for homework, I didn't have to go chasing it down. She had it finished, and it was done right, and so I appreciated that about you, Janae. Thank you. The next award goes to Cade Burkholder, the Diligence Award, and there's a couple different words that could describe Cade. He was very much 100% into his work, so I chose the word diligence, but whatever he did, he put all of his energy into. So whether it was playing games outside or a project in the classroom or his schoolwork, he did it 100%. And I really appreciated that about him. It was a good peer pressure, I guess, for everyone else to kind of try to do better. And so he was very good at encouraging that. Thank you, Cade. Last award goes to Kate Miller for citizenship and school spirit. I noticed Kate just trying to interact with younger students and being a good friend to everyone. And I really appreciate that about Kate. She was very thankful and very helpful in the classroom, so I really appreciate that, admired that. If something went wrong or something, she was always there to try to pick up something that fell over or whatever. She was very helpful in that way, and just a real joy in the classroom. One time, pretty early on in the year, I remember Kate, it was a hot lunch, and I try to, encourage students to say thank the moms for the hot food. And we got back to the classroom, and Kate remembered, oh, she didn't thank the cooks. And she asked if she could go back. And so I admired that in you, Kate. Thank you.
Good morning, parents and students. What a blessing it has been to come back to Napanee, Indiana, after being gone for 20 years. I really appreciated working at UCS with the staff and also with you parents and students. I realize that a lot of changes have happened in the last 20 years. When I left, I was teaching some students who today are parents of the students I was teaching this year. It has been a positive year in my transition into the community. And I want to express gratitude to you parents and to you students for the support you've given me and the words of encouragement throughout the year, and specifically 5th and 6th grade. In the beginning of the year, you were names and faces, but as the year progressed, I got to know you as individuals, and I saw that you had purpose and design. God has a plan for your lives. And little did I know that on March 13, I said goodbye to you, and as I closed the door that afternoon, I didn't realize we wouldn't be back Monday morning. So it was a short year. However, I wish you a happy and a free summer, and when we return next year, 6th grade, you will be going into junior high, but you're ready for that. And 5th grade, you get to be with me for another year. So we'll do another round in the classroom, so hurry back. This morning, I'd like to award a few students in my room for various things, and we'll start with a penmanship award. I had a student who consistently wrote with neatness and fluidity in the cursive work, whether it was in a workbook, daily papers, or on tests. The penmanship award will go to Victoria Mast. Congratulations. I was also blessed with a hearty, healthy group of students. We had 13 students in our room, and almost half of my students had perfect attendance. They are Brock Miller, Vanessa Burkholder, Jonathan Miller, Andrew Hostetler, Riley Stubblefield. Congratulations. And sixth grade, you have a unique year because you have now completed 6 years of elementary and you are going into junior high. And so you get the President's Academic Award. There's a gold academic award and a silver academic award that President Trump gives to the sixth graders. So you'll see that next week. They are Vanessa Burkholder, Jonathan Miller, Connor Beachy, Gabriella Dadson, Braden Herr, and Riley Stubblefield. Congratulations. The Outstanding Scholastic Achievement Award are those that are on the Distinguished Honor Roll, and they've been on it 5 out of 6 times. Listed are Victoria Mast, 5th grade, Brock Miller, 5th grade, Vanessa Burkholder, 6th grade. Congratulations. And now we'll go to the Gold Cup Awards. I have one called the Most Improved Student Gold Cup Award. You know, there comes a point in life when we cross the threshold of childhood into adulthood, and it seems that in 5th and 6th grade, we're in those transition years of that happening. And they can be some painful, rather turbulent times in that transition. And one student in my room initially battled finding equilibrium in this transition. So often the student and I would struggle through unfinished work, sometimes meeting deadlines, trying to stay focused in the class and taking personal responsibility. But January came and the corner turned. And it wasn't perfect, but there was a drastic improvement in attitude and work habits and in taking personal responsibility. And even in the transition of homeschooling, the mother told me that the student was consistent in that change and didn't back down. So I would like to award a Gold Cup to Andrew Hostetler for the Most Improved Student Award, who has made a definitive change in attitude and work habits. Congratulations. This morning, I would also like to recognize a student in my classroom who will receive the Kindness Cup Award. The student was very kind to her classmates, no matter what happened. When there were disruptions, the student would readily assist and lend a helping hand, and was known to be everyone's friend. She had no enemies. I would like to award Olivia Beachy, a 5th grader, of the Gold Cup of Kindness. Congratulations, Olivia. And then the Citizenship and School Spirit Gold Cup Award will go to 2 students. Both students exemplified similar characteristics. Both modeled respect for authority when asked to do something specifically or following classroom rules. Both demonstrated responsibility for their assignments. They were conscientious with their work habits, and I could count on the fact that the work would be completed and handed in. And they both demonstrated positive attitudes at recess time as they played with their peers and often encouraged their peers. They were involved and active and strived to do well in the classroom, with their peers, and with their teacher. The Citizenship and School Spirit Award will go to a 5th grade gal, Elena Utzi. Congratulations. And the 6th grade person is Jonathan Miller. Congratulations. Thank you. Have a blessed summer.
Well, folks, we have had a most unusual year. The pandemic has caused us to switch gears, reroute our path, but you know what? We have come to the finish line. And so I'm very, very pleased with that, how you all have chipped in, co-teachers as well as parents and students. Wonderful. It's been a wonderful year, despite all that. I'd like you to know that we have also come through another year with junior high students in the modular, okay? Just for your information, though, this week during a rain that we had this week, I was at school and I observed that the guttering shower head is still working very well. It's in great working order, okay? And I know that's despite a lot of you board members that have given valiant efforts into curbing that flow, but it's in working order. Things are as usual there yet. But I want to tell you, though, of one thing that one of our most memorable moments this year was when a student, the leg of one of the chairs of one of the students went down through the register, broke down through the register covering, and arms and legs went flailing all over the place. And you can imagine, because this student was Dawson Miller, and he, the length of his arms and legs are not short by any means, and so there was quite some activity. So we have come through all that, okay? We have come through all that, and so Dawson, especially, I want to give you recognition for being there every day, despite this happening, and along with Philip Shupp. Thank you for being there, present every day. It makes a teacher's work a lot easier when you really attempt to do that. Sabrina Raymer as well was there, has perfect attendance for 1 year. Kenzie Hostetler made it to the end of the second year without any absences, so that is just really tremendous. I thank you so much, students. Congratulations. As was mentioned earlier, we give the President's Academic Award to students who have come through the 8th grade. And so this award goes to Dawson Miller, to Sabrina Raymer, to Olivia Mast, and to Patrick Royer. Then the next award that I have is the Outstanding Scholastic Achievement Award. This goes to Philip Shupp, Aaliyah Miller, Dawson Miller, and Sabrina Raymer. Now, out of those 4, it's always, I always kind of wonder, now who exactly is going to get the highest grade average? This year, that very prestigious award, I think, goes to Sabrina Raymer. Congratulations, Sabrina. Our dinosaur is having a bit of difficulty here, but we will go on with gold cups in the meantime. We had a student who was really, he was outstanding in enthusiasm. I so appreciated that, and he was I just consider him our classroom leader. He often gave out, in his enthusiasm, he would give out an opinion to kind of group and to gather students around him to lead the way. But then on the other hand, when other suggestions came in, he never was so hard-nosed that he wouldn't give up his opinion. I thought that was such a good point of leadership for Dawson Miller, and I'm going to read something that he wrote as an assignment at the very end of the year. He says, if you want to become a leader, you need to have many special qualities. A person must have integrity, patience, and must be trustworthy. He or she must also be likable. If you want to be a leader, you should be kind and care about the people you are leading and be responsible as well. And then he goes on to say how that he is planning, or how he's working in his life to achieve that character quality. And so I'm so happy to give the Gold Cup Award to Dawson Miller. An interesting phenomenon I have come across is that what we expect or seem to notice in students at school just happen at home too. And so I went to award the Christian Character Award to Sabrina Raymer. She was very conscientious in all of her work and all of her relationships and all of whatever she did. And I know sometimes it's a little bit different coming to school and interacting with students versus being at home and trying to exemplify that same Christian character. Sabrina is trying hard, and I so appreciate that. She is really working on that and excelling in that area. So congratulations, Sabrina Raymer, for the Christian Character Award. We had a student bounce into the classroom every morning, and her energy kept on bouncing off the walls throughout the day, and it was just contagious. I so appreciate Olivia Mass, and we missed you dreadfully, Olivia, when you didn't show up when you were sick. And so the Citizenship and School Spirit Award goes to Olivia Mast. At the beginning of the year, Kenzie Hostetler seemed to think that if she handed in a math paper, half done, it was perfectly fine. She did her best, she thought. But I got together with her parents, and I'll tell you what, Kenzie Hostetler has come to get experience the feeling of doing a job well. It's perhaps difficult, yes, but we came up with this plan to help her through that. And so she has that good feeling of having been persistent and having been able to achieve handing in good homework. Thank you so much, Kenzie, for being cooperative in this and having a good attitude, at least most of the time. I know it was tough. The Persistence Award. Thank you, Kenzie. There's a student I loved to have in my math class. That was Philip Chupp. Most interesting. When I would present something that he had never heard of before, an algebra lesson as a rule, he would scrunch up his face, and that scrunch would stay there until he got it. And so I'm so pleased to give the Thoroughness Award to Philip Chupp. He didn't stop searching after that concept until he got it. I so appreciate that. Congratulations, Philip Chupp. In recognition of your hard work, 8th graders, we are going to present to you your diplomas, 8th grade diplomas. And this is, I'm so pleased to give these to you because you have worked so well independently. You have worked so well together as a group. I'll remember you as the group that loved to sit outside around the table. And so that was a Pollywood table, by the way. Okay, and so I feel that you are very well prepared for high school, and I am pleased to let you move on, although I will certainly miss you. And I believe that you will be a tremendous asset for high school as well. And so I present you, Olivia Mast, Dawson Miller, Sabrina Raymer, and Patrick Royer with your 8th grade diplomas. I really appreciate Mr. Dave and all the help that he has given us through the year and was supportive of every one of us. I also so appreciate the co-teachers that I was able to work with this year. Parents and students alike, thank you so much for just being cooperative, being enthusiastic about this year, even the homeschooling at the end of the year. This was very, very good. I have an award for service for Ellie Skiles. She would often drop her work and help me if papers needed to be handed out, especially to send home to parents. I so appreciated her help. Also, Brenna Burkholder gets her first teaching paycheck from her grandmother. I'm so proud to give that to you, Brenna, because you have given me hours and hours, and I really, really appreciate it. Also, your knowledge of, she helped me through the maze of technology that was just overwhelming at first and even at last. Thank you, students. Have a good summer.
Good morning, parents, students, and relatives of those going to United Christian School. It's hard to believe that 9 months ago I was a green teacher. Well, I wasn't even a teacher yet, really, coming to United Christian, and I was excited. I was very nervous. I'm sure many of you were wondering who this Courtney Hostetler guy is and what he would be like. But I just want to say thank you for a really good year. I enjoyed getting to know students. I enjoyed getting to know each of you better. And I remember when I the first couple days of school, I was standing at the door and would be extending my hand to shake your hand, welcome you into the classroom, and a lot of you were just really unsure, like, what is this guy trying to do, or but eventually it became kind of a game, and some of you would try to avoid the handshake. I'm pretty sure I didn't actually miss any of you, maybe one time, but anyway, it was just good being with you and getting to know you better. This morning I have a number of awards that I would like to present, and we're going to start off with perfect attendance. I have 5 students who never missed a day of school, and they are Brenna Burkholder, Kirk Miller, Jaron Beachy, Hannah Miller, and Jennifer Miller. So congratulations. We also have the President's Academic Award. There is both gold and silver awards, and these go to those who have completed high school. And so we have 4 seniors this year who are all finishing high school with flying colors. Congratulations, Jennifer Miller, Caitlin Slaybaugh, Sonia Yoder, and Eleanor Zimmerman. I also have 2 Scholastic Achievement Awards. One is just the Scholastic Achievement, and the other Outstanding Scholastic Achievement for being on the Honor Roll 3 out of 4 times, or the Distinguished Honor Roll 3 out of 4 times. For the Scholastic Achievement Award, I have Randon Zimmerman, Scott Hirschberger, and Michaela Royer. Congratulations. And for the Outstanding Scholastic Achievement Award, I have Brenna Burkholder, Kirk Miller, Shakira Miller, Jaron Beachy, Jerry Bontrager, Jennifer Miller, Caitlin Slaybaugh, Sonia Yoder, and Eleanor Zimmerman. Congratulations. There was some competition between the grades to see who could have the highest grade point average, and so for 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, we have only one person who had the highest grade point average. For grades 9 and 10, Brenna Burkholder had the highest GPA with a 98.7%. Congratulations, Brenna. And for 11th and 12th grade, we have Caitlin Slaybaugh, who managed to get over 100% of her work completed. She had a 100.03% GPA. Congratulations, Caitlin. I have a number of Gold Cup awards, too. I have 6 Gold Cups. The first 3 are for Christian character. The first award I'd like to give is a Perseverance Award. This student, when he first came to school, he did not hide the fact that he would rather not be at school. He would rather be elsewhere, doing things he enjoyed more. But in spite of that, he chose to give school his best effort. He chose to have a good attitude. And he consistently turned in work before the due date. He did quality work. He had good handwriting. And this stayed consistent all the way through the school year. Even though these last couple months have been a very different kind of schedule, he remained disciplined at home. He got kind of a thrill out of working hard and checking things off the list. And so, Jerry Bontrager, I just want to say you did a really good job, and congratulations on persevering all the way to the end. The next award I'd like to give is the Gold Cup for Faith Award. This student asked me for my opinion on a number of different discussions that we had in Bible class, or even things we didn't necessarily discuss in class. She would talk to me about after class. This student, even though she or even if we would disagree on things, she was very respectful. When she wanted answers, she would go to the Bible. In her writing, she would talk about how having a faith in God and trusting in God was the most important thing. This student exemplified both in her writing and the assignments that she turned in, as well as her life, that settled trust in God, and throughout her life, kind of a settledness. And I believe that was because of her faith in God. And Sonia Yoder, I was just challenged by the faith that you showed in God. So congratulations, Sonia. I'd also like to give a Gold Cup for Compassion Award. This goes to Randon Zimmerman. And Randon, in a number of conversations just with me personally, would express just a desire to help people and to take care of people. He is already making plans to better equip himself to be able to serve and help others. In conversations with other students, he would go up and ask them how they were doing. And it was different than, when students would come through the door and I would shake their hand, be like, hey, how's it going? How are you doing this morning? It was a very quick thing, and we didn't necessarily have time to talk. But Randon, a number of times, he would go up and he would really ask someone, hey, how are you doing? And he wanted to know. He wanted to listen. He wanted to give that person someone to talk to. And so Randon just exemplified real compassion and care for others. And congratulations, Randon. The next three awards, I just kind of gave them names that I thought carried the idea of what I was trying to award. The first one, the first Gold Cup award that I'd like to give in this category is to Vince Peachy. And Vince, I am giving you the Man Gold Cup Award. Now, what does it mean to be a man? It's very broad and impossible to cover all at once here, but Vince, you displayed a number of characteristics that I believe make you deserving of this award. One of them was leadership. Vince, you exemplified leadership in two areas specifically that I would like to notice. One was in Turkey in the Hole. This was a big project that no one had ever done before. It was something that I randomly suggested one day, but didn't really think anything would happen. But you said, hey, I'd like to tackle that. You wanted to do something, you wanted to contribute, even though it was difficult, uncharted territory, and you gave leadership to that. So thank you for that, Vince. And also in sports, there were a number of times when you organized volleyball games and stuff out in the gym, and so you just exemplified leadership in those areas. You had a willingness to talk through differences and to solve problems. We didn't see eye to eye on everything, Vince, and that's okay. But I appreciate the way that you were willing to sit down with me, you were willing to talk about it, and even at the end of the conversation, we still didn't always agree on everything. But I felt like our relationship was better because we were able to talk through it, and we were still able to work together. And so thank you for that. Vince, you're a thinker. In class, you're not satisfied with easy answers. You want to think through things and really know how they are, and that's an important characteristic of a man. to think through things and not just take the easy route. And you're a hard worker, so I don't think anyone can accuse you of being lazy. And so, Vince, you have the Man Gold Cup Award. The second award I'd like to give is the Mobile Magnet Gold Cup Award. Shakira, you were walking around, you were just interacted with a wide variety of people. And the people are drawn to you, Shakira. You're fun to be with. You help people to feel comfortable with themselves. And you draw people together. And so I just appreciated the way that you were able to interact with different groups in high school. You know, sometimes in high school, or often I guess, we tend to form these little groups. But Shakira, you were able to interact comfortably and well with these different groups, no matter who they were. And so congratulations, Shakira, on being a mobile magnet. Probably my favorite class was algebra class, and I had one student who at least once a week would pull out a pose that looked something like this. Just kind of cross his arms, lean back in his chair, and kind of give me a squinty eye. And it was often when we were having some kind of discussion. We had lots of discussions in algebra class, not related to algebra, but that's okay. Kirk Miller, I would like to present you with the Future Philosopher Award. Kirk, you asked tough questions. You were not afraid to wrestle with things that didn't have easy answers. You weren't afraid to point out if you disagreed with someone or if you thought I was wrong, and I appreciated that. You challenged me to know what I believe. And Kirk, you wanted to know the truth. You're a seeker of truth. A philosopher is someone who loves wisdom. And I believe, Kirk, that you love truth, you love wisdom, and just encourage you that in seeking truth, you also seek the truth, which is God. And so I'd like to give you the Future Philosopher Award, Kirk. I also just want to thank each of the staff members. I really enjoyed working with you during this first year. You welcomed me. Board members were very supportive, and so I just had an excellent first year. And I think teaching is probably the best job that I've ever had. And so thank you, everyone, for making it a good year.
Looking over the past 3 years of teaching at UCS, I'm reminded of both the challenging times and the really fun times. I view my teaching experience a lot like Emily Dickinson viewed What All It Takes to Make a Prairie. She says, to make a prairie, it takes one clover and a bee, a clover and one bee, and reverie. The reverie alone will do if bees are few. God has shown me his power through the times when bees were few. Additionally, he has filled my teaching experience with so many times when clovers and bees were abundant. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to know this community and its people. Although I do not plan to return as a teacher next year, I will always treasure the memories and the experiences that I've had. I'll never forget the people here that have deeply impacted me. Some of my favorite memories include our hair-raising field trip to Chicago. I walked really fast, guys, and we walked really fast through Chicago. I also have fond memories of the class that I taught how to teach, and they all took turns teaching. That was really fun. And 9th and 10th grade English. I don't know if you remember this, but the very last day of this year, which was March 13, I believe, you guys came into class and we talked coronavirus for 40 minutes. And we had about 10 minutes of English. And that was our last day of school. And I'm so thankful we did that. It's a very special memory that I have. I'm so glad we took the time to talk about things that matter. And I will always remember that as a really wonderful last day of school for me. My plans for the future include working locally in my community and also going back to school myself. Thanks to the board, the staff, the parents, the students for making these past 3 years unforgettable for me. I will fondly remember this experience of teaching for many, many years. In closing, I want to challenge you with some wisdom from Proverbs. My son, if you receive my words and hide my commandments with you, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you call out for knowledge and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it as for hid treasure, then will you understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I also miss seeing all your beautiful faces every morning. I don't know if you guys can even manage to get up without hearing our cheery, obnoxious good mornings. We're going to close out our awards ceremony with Bible Memory Awards. And each year, each student is required to say 8 different scripture passages. So this is a great accomplishment when we get this all done. So I want to recognize all those who have said their verses this year. And you'll be getting a Bible memory ribbon for this. I'm going to go really quickly. Kiara Bontrager, Heidi Chupp, Justice Hostetler, Dante Miller, Brooke Newswanger, Alexa Stauffer, Miles Yutzi, Trenton Burkholder, Alex Gingrich, Riley Hostetler, Eden Mass, Peyton Miller, Drew Newswanger, Gina Troyer, Ariana Bontrager, Braden Bontrager, Ashley Burkholder, Heather Chupp, Rachel Dadson, Leighton Hostetler, Taylor Miller, Truman Smucker, Kaylee Stauffer, Cade Burkholder, Cameron Miller, Trentlin Newswanger. Kip Skiles, Chase Yutzi, Rihanna Burkholder, Austin Gingrich, Janae Golding, Kate Miller, Jasmine Royer, Olivia Beachy, Leah Herr, Andrew Hostetler, Victoria Mast, Brock Miller, Evan St. Julian, Elena Yutzi, Connor Beachy, Vanessa Burkholder, Gabriella Dadson, Braden Herr, Jonathan Miller, Riley Stubblefield, Jada Beachy, Philip Chupp, Juliana Dadson, Taylor Guerin, Kensington Hostetler, and Ellie Skiles. Aaliyah Miller, Olivia Mass, Dawson Miller, Sabrina Raymer, Patrick Royer, Brenna Burkholder, Kirk Miller, Shakira Miller, Alana Peachy, Andrea Peachy, Hannah Skiles, there's a typo. Randon Zimmerman, Tiana Guerin, Scott Hirschberger, Jaron Beachy, Jerry Bontrager, Brooke Mast, Hannah Miller, Vince Peachy, Michaela Royer, Lane Yutzi, Jennifer Miller, Caitlin Slabaugh, Sonia Yoder, and Eleanor Zimmerman. And if I missed your name, you will still be getting a ribbon. Thank you. Then, of course, we have the 3-year Bible Memory Trophies, the 6-year, the 9-year, and the 12-year. We had 8 students who said their Bible memory 3 years in a row. That goes to Cade Burkholder, Cameron Miller, Trentlin Newswanger, Chase Yutzi, Jonathan Miller, Riley Stubblefield, Patrick Royer, and Michaela Royer. Let's give them a hand. 2 students who have said their verses 6 years in a row, Vanessa Burkholder and Kirk Miller. 6 students who have said their Bible verses for 9 years, Brenna Burkholder, Shakira Miller, Alana Peachy, Andrea Peachy, Randon Zimmerman, and Jennifer Miller. And we have 2 seniors who have said their verses for 12 years in a row. So if you take 12 times 8, that comes out to learning 96 Bible passages. And I know some of those will repeat, but good job, ladies. That is Caitlin Slabaugh and Sonia Yoder. And now we're doing something this year that we have never done before because this was a unique year. We had a lot of sicknesses at school, and as I was going through the attendance here at school, I noticed that I think we have a higher amount of people who had perfect attendance than ever before that I remember. So that already was amazing. We had 19 students who had perfect attendance. And because this was a unique year, we want to do something even more fun. We are going to take those 19 people, I put them all into a bowl here, and I am going to have my friend Timmy T come up here, and he is going to draw one of you 19 people's names out of this bowl. Come on up here, Timmy. And you are going to, if your name is drawn, you are going to win a $50 Amazon gift card. Let's have a drum roll. Okay, Timmy, draw one. And the winner of the Amazon gift card is Alex Gingrich. Let's give him a hand. I'll be right over, Alex, to help you shop. And you can pick that up on Monday at school as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you, staff, for all that you have done this year and shared. I was trying to think of what my summer plans are. Plan number one is hopefully having baby number 3 here very shortly. And then I also started tearing a porch off my house yesterday. So I got the easy part done. So if you know anything about putting porches back on a house, let me know. As Ms. Miller mentioned, we do have awards pickup on Monday. If you want to, this is optional, but Monday from 8:30 to 11:30, your awards report cards will be on your desks at school. And because of kind of where we're at in the phases, students, you're welcome to come in and talk to your teachers, parents as well. And I do want to thank several people, Sandy Ridge for hosting today, and Theodore for his work with the live stream, and then also thank Maria for hosting our graduation here in a couple weeks. I want to thank the board for all of their hard work and their support to us as a staff. I know many of the board members stopped in on various days, even the day before Christmas break, I think, and we still had jobs, so that was good. And so I just appreciated that support of them stopping by and supporting us through the year. It was really an encouragement to us as staff. Also want to thank the part-time staff or people that stepped in to various roles. Glendora Burkholder and Erica Yutzi both helped out with a ladies' gym class this year. And we had a couple people help with tutoring, Charity Grimshaw, and then Miss Miller did a lot of our tutoring, and so we thank you for that. And our music teacher this year was Sarah Miller, and she did an excellent job. She also led that Boomwhacker choir and helped quite a bit with our Christmas program, so thank you, Sarah. And also Angie Beachy did some math teaching and tutoring for us, and so we are very thankful for that. And like I said, staff, just thank you. This was a fun year, even though we all kind of came into this with some new jobs and things. I felt like it gelled together pretty well, pretty quickly, and really excited about the future. We've had several staff meetings here at the end to kind of be thinking about next year, and boy, the amount of plans and ideas that we have is just almost overwhelming. So I'm really excited about these next year and going forward with this group of staff. And I'm thankful, again, that many of them are returning. And Mrs. Miller, I hate to see you go. I've appreciated your enthusiasm and your hard work. You put in a lot of extra hours, extra time to make things interesting and fun, and very knowledgeable about what you're teaching. And one of the things that I've appreciated most is that you care about the students' emotional and spiritual well-being more than their academic well-being. I remember one time, a couple years ago, it was kind of a rough time at school, things going on, and I came over and talked to you a little bit and found out that you'd been praying for things to happen and revival, and part of me said, oh boy, I don't know about that, because it works. And the deeper part of that is that's what your desire was for them, was at that spiritual level. And so I just appreciate that, and I know the students feel that as well. So thank you for your time at UCS. All right, I am looking forward, students, to seeing you all soon. And we do have one more person to close out here. Ryan Miller, our chairman of the board, is going to give us some, I'm not sure what he's going to talk about, but he's going to talk for a little bit, and then I'm going to let him close. So thank you again, students and parents, for a good year.
Thanks, Dave, for that. Well, that was the first hour of the service, The next hour, I'll be doing a little talk here, so just hang on to your seats. Just kidding. So I just want to say a couple things here as we close this morning. Thanks, Dave, for your leadership of the staff here. And I think about rewinding back to last September and thinking, nobody would have signed up for this year, knowing what we had to deal with probably, because there was a lot of changes that happened this year, especially in the last 3 months. So we lived through a time, and I don't want to repeat everything Mr. Dave said, but I had some of the same exact thoughts that our grandchildren will be discussing probably this event in history. It really was, and economically, and toilet paper and all those things that have become common phrases like social distancing for the first time. So regardless if you're someone who thinks this is a political thing or a media hype, or if you're truly in fear, it's something we all went through these last couple of months, and we're still not quite done with it. It affected our lifestyles immensely in the last couple of months. So just a couple of thank yous. I know Dave has done a lot of this, Mr. Dave has done a lot of this already, but just especially for the staff quickly adapting to, as Ms. O shared, adapting to digital platforms really, really quick. And as you mentioned, Ruben helped quickly build a website in 3 days, and I just really appreciate that, Ruben. But just you guys really adapted really quickly. Within days, we were live to your students and giving the support to the parents as they needed. The parents just were superstars as well. And I know how hard my wife worked at it, Jeanette, and I know that all the other moms did as well. And it was a lot to do with, especially if there was little children at home, and we literally set up school, and I know many of you did the same thing. So thank you to the parents who worked really, really hard to be ready for the next week's swap of paperwork and all that, and tests and quizzes and all that. So thank you, parents, for just adapting really, really quickly to the changes that came about. So the teachers worked extra hard as well. I know that you guys actually put a lot of time and effort. You guys weren't at home sleeping during the last 3 months, and that was obvious when you went on the website and looked around at all the data that was on there. So thank you to all of you for what you did. Couple more things. The modular project was mentioned by Ms. Overholt, so she loves that thing. That's the only reason it's still there is because she loves it so much. She likes that shower. And so just, if you haven't heard, many of you have heard about this project, but we're discussing very seriously, and it's not a closed door discussion. We've invited many of you to speak into this, especially contractors in the area that we've actually met with in the last few months, talking about what the right plan forward is to replace the modular on the east side there. So it's a 5-year plan that has been going for 15 years now, and it's tired. It's very, very tired. So that's not new news to most of you, but I want to let you know that we are working on that. We are trying to raise funds for that, and obviously funds is the number one issue, except that we've had some very, very positive feedbacks and commitments and pledges already. So we're very excited about hoping to do something very, very soon. I can't commit to that tonight or today, this morning, I guess, but we're hoping that Miss O, your shower will go away someday soon. So if there is any feedback or input on that, or you have comments and thoughts, talk to any of the board members. We're all very much involved in that and discussing that actively all the time. So I was also encouraged this morning, switching gears here, one last thing here is by the positive report from all of you as teachers this morning. Just the growth that Mr. Hosteller shared in junior high and high school students, and many of you had shared the same thing, just in positive things, in character especially. I just really, really am grateful to see that shift a little bit in character, and it's an answer to prayer from us as a board for sure, and from you as teachers obviously as well, and you as parents. I know that's all of your parents' heart as well. So. We love to see that stuff. Also thankful that most of the teachers are returning next year. Ms. Miller, we greatly appreciate your contribution to UCS. I have 3 gifts here for the 3-year teachers. I'm going to ask them just to come forward at this time. That's Candace Yoder, Jesse Hofstetter, and Louisa Miller. Come on up here. They have served 3 years at UCS, and just very grateful for that gift they've given, and their time and their energy and their efforts. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. That is you right there. Thank you so much. There you go. Louisa, thank you very much. So normally about this time, we're announcing a softball game, and there's really, really good food being prepared right back behind the camera here. And today, that's not the case. We don't even have a little meal for us that are here this morning. So maybe kind of lame, but maybe we should have done that. So, but that's just part of the deal. It's a little bit different. So also thank you to Theodore for running audio video this morning, and for everybody that joined. I know a number of you are watching. We can see you out there watching us this morning. So we're grateful that you joined us this morning live, and some of you are also joining us afterwards on YouTube as well. And you can share this with grandparents. Just grab that link, copy it, forward it, text it to whoever you want to. If you want grandparents or uncles and aunts to watch this morning as well, they can do that as well, even if it's not live. So thank you very much. God bless, and we'll see you all next year. I want to say, sorry, one more thing. July meeting, July 15th. I missed that, Mr. Dave. I saw that look. He always reminds me if I'm missing something. July 15th, 7 p.m. Is the annual meeting, I guess we call it, annual school meeting. July 15th. It is 1 week later than it was originally planned. But we'd like to have you guys all there. We've said this before in the past. It's for everybody. It's not for Berea and Sandy Ridge excuse me, members. It's for everybody that's involved with the school. We'd like to have you all there. We really want you all to be there and value your input. And we're going to plan a service there that'll be interesting and fun for everybody and interesting for the crowd there. So thank you. God bless.